All right. Welcome to 12 to 6 Eyes. I am Xavier Black. Today we have, as always, Miss Latricia Penny and Mr. Sherman Harris. And today we're going to be discussing, I don't want to say fears of what's going on in the world today, but just some of our anxieties about the realities of our world today. Okay. Um, the threat of an actual war uh, with our current president, as well as the uh, current other leaders and their actions in the world, um, I would say is higher now, or at least the fear of it is higher now than it's ever been. At least in the last 25 years. I mean, of a global war, not a war, a conflict or something we get involved in and we go to another country, but I mean an actual one of those ones they call world war. And the unfortunate part about that is, we're got such we have we're such advanced technologically that I don't know that it'll be even. I mean, the threat of nuclear is there, and then having a son that's coming to the age of draft age, and then to have president openly saying it's funny. It came across my feed the other day. He was like, "Oh, so you mean if there's a war, you can't have an election?" So his mind is if there's a war, you can't. There won't be an election. No, uh, but traditionally, okay, you've never had a sitting president during wartime lose his seat. But then this is a different situation because you already, it's your second term. So it's, but anyway, just the fear of that. And then, the interaction with people and people's different viewpoints of how things are going in the world in your part of the country or in the country, and then specifically in your part of the country. I think people's anxieties are high. I think that the fear of some kind of conflict, whether it be globally or even worse, something on American soil, I think that fear is if you just looking at my feeds, I know the algorithm, once you look at something, once you look at something, it keeps feeding you that. I mean, like I've seen so many survival videos where you survive out in the woods and you know what I'm saying, and just all I need is a knife. Give me a knife, I feel like I can make it. That's based on the videos I watch. But just I think that makes it worse, to be honest, too, the social media, because it heightens people's anxiety, it keeps other things in your face. Um, but I don't know. What do you all think?
Uh, oh, well,
We can't hear
Your
you.
speakers
It's
off. I mean,
all right, go ahead, Trish. I'll fix it.
okay. Okay. So for me, well, it's been about over 20 something years that I've actually looked at news, sat down and watched. But as you stated, with everything going on, even whether your algorithm is on that or not, you're going to get either survival or you're going to get news of. And if we're honest, we got to just look at worldwide. There has been continuous war for the past 20 something years, although it hasn't impacted us, you know. Um, Congo, that's just been ongoing thing. And I can't think right now where they're the other, well, the big one, the other one with Palestine. And, so we have been, I think now it's just getting closer to here with some of the decisions that have been made from, I don't even know what to call it, some of the decisions that have been made, because I don't, I I can't even, I don't know from the seat. I don't know what to say, like, or just some of the behaviors that have been exhibited that have been so self-centered, greedy, and, definitely not for the country, but just for the pocket, and control and power. And that whole thing that has continued to impact all of us is the greed, the control, the power. And when you have someone who um, does not, exercise anything outside of that, their viewpoint is always skewed. And they just don't care, and they don't look at any kind of ramifications for their actions. And with that being said, because we all know that there's, like, I don't know, dare I say, a toddler in the seat, uh, we're
That's fair.
we're forced to look at the impact of that. We're forced to, because it's not a day that goes by that there's not some foolishness. And it started as soon as you stepped in, it was like foolishness. What I do believe too is, with all of the foolishness, because I do believe in energy and fear and how people use that energy to do what they want, because then sometimes people are afraid to stand up. Yesterday, ICE showed up in Charlotte. So I haven't personally seen them, but they're here. And so you have so many different things. And I think this is the first time it's been like 50, 11 things at one time, like in a present, like in the first year of anything. It's never been ICE, and then war, and then tariffs, and then it's like it's so many different things every day that it keeps people in a state of feeling anxious. And then when you're not anxious, to me, you make sometimes poor decisions, because your your cortisol level is just high all the time. And then you're stressed, and then you're not sleeping, and then your work is impacted, and your family's impacted. It's like all of the things that come from this foolishness that we unfortunately have been experiencing since January. And everybody's like, so how many more years? We still in year one. Like, we literally are still in year one, and government shutdown. It's like, as soon as you kind of almost take a breath, there's something else. So you don't get an opportunity to take the breath. So yeah, that's kind of,
I don't even know why people would be counting days or years, simply because, respectfully, ain't nothing. And I meant what I said. Ain't nothing this dude has done to show you that he's willing to give a peaceful transfer of power.
No, not at all. No, he is not. He's definitely not leaving willingly. That's just
nothing he said. Nothing.
Anybody who even thinks that is an idiot. I'm sorry.
I lost.
I hate to be.
You couldn't even run again, dude. What do you mean you lost? Yes, you lost. You didn't even race. But
I mean, and there's still a question of whether you won this one, but whatever.
So Facts. Was the supposed release of emails, is this a true thing?
Whether he
I mean, not what was supposedly done. Was the release of the emails themselves true? That's what I got a question about.
I don't know, because like I said, I can't say that I've researched or anything, so I am not going to speak on. I just know that a whole lot of stuff has been stated, and they were saying that, because when it does come out, it's just everybody.
I know that the news, I've been watching my local news, and I have not seen anything necessarily with regards. And to be honest, I watched sparingly yesterday, but I did kind of watch because I wanted to see if this was even a topic. You know what I mean? Or if this was just something that was running rampant over the internet. Because if it's getting covered by the local news, there has to be at least the releasing of the files. There would be a moniker of truth of them releasing the files. That's what I was curious about.
Okay.
So what Go ahead, Sherman.
I just think I don't know. I think it's a bunch of hooey right now. I think it's a bunch of hype or something to get us distracted right now.
I think that
Well, at
everything
least
else
the
was the hype to get us
emails about
distracted
the
from that.
acts.
I think that some of the other stuff was to keep us distracted because that's
Right.
been the
I don't
thing.
think this is the distraction at all. This is the thing.
I think
Okay.
I think because of the people, because that they're hitting all of the people in other countries, that we're hitting kings and all these other dignitaries and all of that, and political systems, and just the people who you don't know. I mean, when you think about it and you look back at the pictures, Epstein was with a whole bunch of folks.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of people. A lot of people.
And so, what are we to say? It's almost like with the parties that they were talking about. It's like if you were one of them pictures, we're and the sun is down, we all suspect a little bit.
Facts.
If it's the daytime,
the sun is
you
down.
okay, a little bit. But whenever if it's dark
Is
in the
it?
background,
Is it?
Okay,
Just
I don't know.
Just because it was daytime, you going to a private daytime Diddy party?
No,
I've never been invited. I'm not of the stature.
I'm not either. But knowing what I know now, I think I'm rejecting all of them. I don't think I want no parts of none of that. Yeah, you're good. I'll hear about it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I just think for some people they were young. They were young, they were naive. Some others knew, but I think for some, it's like, oh, it's the thing. It's what's happening. It's like, going to a good concert or seeing some, being able to be up close to whatever. But I think maybe it's also that we lost that sense of being okay enough with who you are by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, especially back then, though. But I mean, back then, when you think about the music scene back then, I mean, that was that his whole camp was running everything. I mean, everything we were listening to had something to do with him. And if you were in the industry, that's who you wanted to hang out with. So, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, 23-year-old, 24-year-old Sharm would have been like, oh, yeah, I'm about to go. I might have turned around after I got into the party and like, oh, I can't be here.
I guess I'm looking at
you'd have been that because they'd have been slipped you a Mickey.
50-plus-year-old because not being young
Facts.
and naive. Not being young and naive and going to the parties, but now you're an adult and you've heard the rumors, so you know about it, right? You heard about it. With the Epstein thing, same difference. I heard about it. I'm good. And maybe in the beginning they were young, but I'm sure if they've been running this type of thing, I would say for probably a very, very, very long time. Sick people
I'm sure.
for a long time, and organized, well-financed, sick people. And I'm sure that they kept close-knit, very tight. So, it wasn't until the advent of the internet that this came out, and they were doing this 30 years ago. You know what I mean? The group of people we're talking about 30 years ago, they were doing this, but the internet just came out and it just got to the internet. So how long were they doing it before then? And who groomed them?
You're right. You are right.
Yeah. So
one of the supposed emails said something to the effect that Epstein asked, what the hell was the question that he asked? It was several things. Geez, Monetti. What came to my mind just now is not what I wanted to say. Because he said some really, in the ones that I've heard people talk about, or read clips that they've shown on the internet, he said a lot of crazy things. But one of the things was he said, I'm waiting for my orders, in reference to how he moves forward with Donald Trump. So I'm like, damn, well, who running this joint? So you all might just be puppets, and we'll never know the big story. Y'all might go down, but the actual scene of the crime is just gonna shift.
Well, you know they had that movie that Blink Twice.
Yeah.
So, but with that and with all of the other stuff, with the government, with the war, with the tariffs, with the food crisis, because I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I pay attention to the grocery store that I often go to. Like some of the food, there's been a thing with that. People are running into more spoiled stuff. And where there used to be kind of like a plethora of produce, I don't know if anyone's noticed that half of the stuff is like stacked on each other from anymore. But the way that they set it up, display wise, you can't almost tell. But I was like, dang, you can only fit like 10 bags of apples on this side right here when it used to be like maybe 20, or what have you. So some of the things, even with our access to food.
Our American farmers were hit hard with a lot of the things that are going on, tariffs and such included. Consumers, we don't recognize it immediately because we just go about our regular day. But then, as you notice, over time, things will start to be scaled back, and then, they don't want to create panic, so they create the illusion of normalcy and stacking them in such a way so that you don't notice that you only got 10 apples up here now.
Like anywhere else, I just know like a couple of the stores that I go to regularly, I've just noticed that, and I was like, hey, like, because it was kind of like one of the places that has some of the best produce, but I'm like, wow, some of this stuff is a little bit way more limited. What happened to
Ice happened to him.
Price? Oh yeah, because
Ice happened to
him. $20 eggs.
Ice.
No.
That's what happened. The direct economic impact right here in Arizona, because we live in the middle of farmland out here, and one day the Mexicans was all out there working in the fields and doing the thing, working all the construction sites and building all the roads, and you certain times of the day you can always go to the gas station and see them out there at the restaurants, and either they went back, they were hiding out, but they ain't going to work. And when you ain't got when you got a farm and you have nobody to pick your stuff because they're scared for their lives,
right?
You start to lose money, and that then you can't harvest the stuff you need to harvest. That later falls on to the grocery stores not getting what they need to do, and then that falls on to us not having produce.
Yeah, or paying more, like you said, for it because it's so scarce.
Paying more, yeah. Yeah. That's your boy, though.
Yeah.
But he's getting ready to cut a check, too, though. Isn't everybody about to get him a $10,000 check? Isn't that what he said? Isn't that what I heard? For everybody, all the Americans. That's what I heard on NBC the other day.
What? Who?
It was, I heard something to the effect that every American making less than $100,000 a year was going to receive a $2,000 stimulus check or something along those lines.
Well, it's income that we write off next year, but go ahead. They always do that.
I mean, but even with that being said, you throwing up $2,000 right now is not it's not going to fix the issues. But then again, I don't think any of this agenda, of the agenda that's been laid before us, was designed to fix any issues. It was to further their agenda. And our issues they're not taking into consideration in their agenda. So your access to food, your access to these luxuries that we're accustomed to, running water, electricity, things of that nature, they're not important in the larger scale or in the larger scheme of their agenda. Okay,
Mhm.
they don't
Um,
care.
and I think just to go back to where we originally started, um, is the stress level and the anxiety that everyone is feeling because of the choices, decisions, um, all of the different things that are going on in this moment, which I definitely agree with. And I think that stress level has also increased the, um, dare I say, snap attitude, snap anger, that's been more
Mm-hmm.
present, I think, as well. Because on any given day, everybody is just like a second away from snapping because of the pressures. You have this going on. It's almost like you don't have a reprieve because you have whatever's going on, usually at your place of work, which sometimes is not fantastic for a lot of us. Um, I can't really say anything because it's me. So, but from what I hear,
She be mad at herself at work.
Right, you about to write yourself up,
I,
report yourself to HR.
Right.
so not necessarily my thing. However, um, because I am listening and how everybody's on edge because that same mentality that um, the C has is a lot of how businesses run, where they're not considered. All of the employees are not necessarily considered of what's the best way, and they rather do things quick and fast to get the money as opposed to make sure that it's quality and it's going to work. Just all of that stuff that adds a lot of stress to everybody. So you have the stress at work, and then this is what happens outside of work. So you almost don't have, unless you decide to create a space of peace, you almost don't have a space of peace if you're, kind of taking all of this stuff in regularly.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
facts. Mm.
Taking a break from social media would be huge. I heard you say you don't watch the news. Did you say that?
She
Mm-hmm.
said she hasn't watched the news in 20 years.
I
It's
I I I used to do that. I was honestly I held that same um, stance, and I'll tell you what happened. The blackout happened. Um, I was living in Maryland, and
mhm.
Oh,
uh,
damn.
blackout happened, and we were fine. Okay, so I ain't watching the news. I don't. There is no social media like it is now, so I don't know anything about nothing. And I get a call from my sister, you know, ironically, asking me why I hadn't called my mama to check on her. And I was like, "What you mean? I just talked to her. Well, we ain't had no power in 3 days, and a power in a week, or however long it was."
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? That's when it was explained to me, and that's when I learned they're on like all of the East Coast,
Mhm.
Midwest, nobody had power. So being that close, I'm like, no, I can't be that detached. I need to
Mhm.
watch a little bit so I can have some kind of idea. That's why I watch the way I watch now, because I did hold that same standpoint. I don't want to watch because it's depressing. The only thing you all ever highlight in the fucking news is the negative, the drama, because you figure that's what gets rated. That's what you say gets ratings.
Uh-huh.
First 10, 15 minutes is who died, who went to jail, who did the dirt, who, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I have seen news. I just don't sit down to watch news. It's
Yeah.
impossible for me to say that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Now, do like my dad, which 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and have a seat, and that's what you're doing. I haven't done that. The other thing
Mm-mm.
is because everything is so social now, I'm going to get news whether I sit down and look at it anyway. As soon as I log in, there's going to be a list of things that pop up, show up, or what have you. And there was a pastor that I used to go to Reverend Claire, and she always said like she didn't really look at it, but what you know is sometimes the news will come to you the same way that your sister called. So whether you sat down for it, sometimes it's going to come to you anyway,
Yeah.
in some kind of way or another. And for me, like not that it's so depressing, but I don't like to feed my. It is depressing, yes. Um, for me to stay in a space that I need to be, I think so I can do my work well. I think maybe if I was in a different profession where I didn't need to be in a space, and sometimes I don't know, like they're knowledgeable and they tell me about, well, oh, did you hear about, and it's stuff that I probably could know. But I think everybody that I work with know me well enough to know that they probably gonna have to tell me first because I may or may have heard of it or may not have. It's not guaranteed that I'm going to know.
Right.
Right.
And like I said, I'm gonna come across things because you can't help but come across things if you're on social media, if you open up your email, if you go on anything, you're gonna see some highlights of some news. But as far as like sitting down, because what I see in people and what I've witnessed in people is sometimes they will sit down, um, and you're seeing the same thing. Like you're not getting new news every hour, but you're sitting down like CNN, and they're saying the same thing. So, and this is kind of, I don't know if we're gonna shift, but one of the things that I paid attention to when I was younger from a pastor is repetition deepens the impression. So the more that you hear anything, the more it kind of sinks in with you.
Mhm.
What I saw from some people is not only are you looking at the news, you're on NPR, you this, that, and the other, blah, 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 and you're anxious and you're wondering why.
Well, you know what? It now, to your point, now you don't. It doesn't. So you physically went to look at CNN 30 years ago. You physically went to look at NBC Nightly News 30 years ago
Mhm,
because you wanted to see these things, and or you turned on CNN and they just kept
mhm,
regurgitating the same thing. Now
mhm.
this damn thing, okay, the algorithm, right? You pick it up, and it don't matter what you own. You're on Home Depot site and you get a damn ad across the top about something that you were just going through or something or that comes in your feed. You know, this is
That is a
worse.
trend right now. You can't even watch. You can't even watch a post or a reel right now without getting commercials now. Like I'm mad about half the stuff I looked up now. So I don't know. I'm starting to get. Ugh. Yeah, social media is kind of like it's a necessary evil, but
Yeah.
and I also feel that it because it's based on your algorithms, you don't get a broad view of things. So, and then you
Right.
also have to be and then you also have to be smart enough, you're curious enough to, if you see a story, find out where it came from, if it's fact or not, instead of just
Oh my gosh, because the
quickly
AI is,
reposting. What
Right.
was that?
I said the AI is real.
Oh,
The
That's
AI
why
it
I
is
is
so
asked the
so
real.
question about
bad.
those emails because I'm like, I've seen a
See?
number of people. First of all, I've seen a number of people that I trust talking about it. So I'm like, whoa, man, maybe this is true, but I hadn't seen anything. And again, I hadn't sat and watched either. Um, but it's hard. It's hard with the internet to learn what to trust. But with that being said, we just blindly trusted the news because we we assumed we were taught that they were trustworthy, that we were
Hmm.
getting correct information. There's no way they would lie to us. It's the news. Yeah,
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
And I think that's the thing now too is even with the news, I'm not sure whether, like you said, that it's as open, optimistic, not necessarily optimistic, but open to various viewpoints. I guess what I'll say, as
Yeah,
it used to
yeah,
be, because I think you would have more commentary around. Even the people had different views that you may, get a glimpse of when they were talking amongst each other. Now it seems more of an agenda, and only certain things are talked about. And I think that's been a
absolutely.
push as well. So it's like you said, unless you're doing international, which I know a lot of people do international news, Like they don't
Yeah.
do news from our country. They use. Had a friend that used to just look at. I don't know if it was some. I can't remember the country, but it was like an Asian news station, and they looked at
Hmm.
that because they um, got more world news that was accurate.
Well, I think it's a different viewpoint because even with NPR, and they say NPR is supposed to be the most diplomatic. And I will say that when I do listen to NPR, and there's arguments about stuff that there is a fair amount of this is what they said, this is what they said. Here, you can make your opinion. We're not interjecting it, but it is more of a liberal, more democratic news institution. So even that can still be a little bit more somewhat skewed as well too. So
It's
again,
totally skewed. That's where the money
yeah,
comes from. The money
right,
controls what you're not gonna come on my station, and I got a Detroit station, and we talk about other stuff, but you're not gonna come in and just dominate the conversation talking about Chicago. You know what I mean?
right,
So if
right.
I run the station, I run the narrative. And if I'm not gonna do narratives that are gonna go against my best interest, and in my best interest as a business person is the bottom line. And if I start messing with the bottom line by having topics come in that are counterproductive, and my bottom line starts to not look as black as it's supposed to, then I'm gonna go ahead. We gonna change this narrative. Y'all gonna stop this. Y'all gonna stop all that talking about that Chicago. Okay, you can only talk about Chicago once. One time I can hear Chicago. That's it. Then we can say we.
See, you over there. You are doing you dictating your news. See, you see what I'm saying?
Look, this is the world that we live in. I am convinced that it was always control. We just to use their term, we just more woke now.
We are not about to say that word.
No, he just said it out loud.
We're not. Okay, so I mean, all jokes aside, as a whole, I think more people are aware and willing to acknowledge a lot of the injustices or things that go on that are just simply wrong. There was a poem that a guy wrote on Def Poetry Jam Slam, and it was a white guy, and I can't think of his name, but he was like his people were they were practicing the art of turning their head. You remember that poem? Remember that poem? It was like practicing the art of turning their head. And he had a daughter, and he didn't want his daughter turning his head to racism, so he started to face it. Anyway, I say all that to say people are no longer turning their head. People are acknowledging and speaking openly about some of the things that are just goddamn wrong. As people of color, we have known about and acknowledged. We have to no choice but to acknowledge. We walked in them circles.
Amen.
Now you have people who are not of color who are acknowledging some of the wrongs and and misdoings of people. And that's kind of the only way we're gonna have some change.
Yeah. The comment that I was about to say, I'm not gonna say.
It is hard, right? Because we so used to talking amongst us, and then I have to censor myself and realize, Drake, this little thing up here said live. That means that everything you're saying, and we on the internet, and it's gonna be forever. So you have to be cognizant. I know you got on here one time and you were like, man, I tell anybody, yeah, and I will, but I'd still like to,
You're trying to act like Mr. Black right now.
Mr. Black. Just Mr. Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I was just, if you pay attention, it will have you in a different space. And I think, and it would lead to you feeling, possibly anxious and everything else. But the therapeutic part of me always is like, well, how can we make sure that even with all of the crazy, that we are able to still be grounded, that we're able to still be clear, that we're able to be open, with our feelings, for whatever they are, because that can range, especially now. So, and I don't say anybody is wrong for being angry. I just think that sometimes when you feel so out of place and you don't have a way to get it out, um, and maybe
Uh,
Sherman, you could talk about that because I think with fitness, that's been a way that I've always, when I get super, super, super angry, it is kickboxing time. Like I have to get
That's
it
the
out of my
answer.
body, because if it doesn't come out of my body, it's probably gonna come out of my mouth and lead to some other situations or what have
Yes,
absolutely.
yes. That's, and I hate to sound like because we've said this several times, like a broken record. But dude, fitness, it's a huge key. What you
you.
put in your mouth and what you do with your body.
Hmm. And
That
once you
helps.
feed your
That,
mind.
that well, what you put in your mouth, what you do with your body helps what goes on in your mind. So
Absolutely.
when I work out and I'm eating right now and I go work out, whatever anxiety I may have been feeling is gone.
Hmm.
What do you say, Kaiser Sose? Just
I often say clarity and a thoughtful mind are a residual or a result of a good, consistent workout. There's so many benefits to just what you physically look like. It helps their mentality. I have one client. She always wears this shirt. Working out or working out prevents my crazy, or
Hmm.
something to that fact. And she's not lying, because if she does not work out, that is it. She's crazy. She will kill somebody. she knows she knows her therapy, and I do not doubt that she will not kill somebody. If somebody
yes.
said blah 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 did this, I'd be like, well, she didn't work out for like a week. It probably happened.
Work
Well,
out. You winner. What are the what's the chemical response that your body gives, Sherm, when you work out? Is it melatonin? What?
that's
Come on.
sleep stuff.
No, melatonin makes you go to sleep.
No,
No.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. It's
Is
well. I
it
asked you
what's
what
it
it
what?
was. Don't be there.
It's well, it's honestly just more endorphins. So I mean, for men, it's more of a testosterone drive. For women, it does help equalize any of your little estrogen issues that you may be having, especially
I
menopausal
mean,
women. So,
hello.
um, so,
That's the coolest
um,
stuff.
so it's a real direct. It's really just a group of hormones more that are just expressed more and actually can help create more. And then that's when you just try to figure out, what your thing is after that. So that's really more speaking to a nutritionist, just like, all right, let's eat this, or let's do
Hmm.
some supplements to help you out. Because I know it's a supplement I just got. I should do a little endorsement for them. But it has creatine, HMB, and then this other one that I completely forgot. I'm just looking at those people right now, but I completely forgot. But it's good for your mind health. And
Hmm.
I would be wrong. It would be wrong for me to say that I don't, during that time when I'm consuming that I am not 100% completely focused on whatever the task it is. Like,
Oh,
not
nice.
distracted. So if I'm working
Hmm.
out, it's straight up 40 minutes. Don't even talk to me. I don't even hear what you're talking about. I'm getting at it. And then if it's like a
Hmm.
project that I'm working in, I'm just stuck on the computer and I'm just like knocking out tasks and knocking everything down. So, but it does have a little beta alanine in it and a little fat burner. So it kind of gives you a little sweat and you kind of get a little agitated. So again, don't take any supplements without speaking to your doctor. But for the most part, there's stuff out now that can help you out with those hormone imbalances that you do have, and some supplements
Hmm.
that can help you regulate that. And those are things that you just start to discover once you start working out. So again, I push everybody to work out. Again, clarity of mind is probably the greatest result of working out and being fit. Then after
Clarity
that,
of
the next
mind.
is
Absolutely.
clarity of mind.
And
Hmm.
to that point, now that you've given the technical response to what your body physically does, emotionally, as well, in addition to
Absolutely.
that, emotionally,
Yes.
situations can rise, and you can remain calm,
Unbothered.
knowing first of all
Unbothered.
that I could crush you. I work out, physically fit. Your ass don't do nothing. You what did LL say in that song? He drink too much and smoke too many blunts. Like, oh yeah, I see that now. Like, yeah. Look, you can't run up and down. You can't even do no push-ups. All I gotta do is grab you. So
Right.
having that confidence, like for real, like even if you hit me a couple times, okay, how long you gonna be able to keep that up? You ain't gonna be able to keep that up long.
I say that every time. If somebody threatens me, I'm like, you got to catch me first, pimp. Once you tired, I'm gonna turn around and get my lick in and get the hell on out of there.
Did you say you gotta catch me?
You gotta catch me first, pimp. Once you're tired, I'm gonna turn around, get my lick in, and keep it moving.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta catch me. Oh, bro.
Come get me.
He was a track athlete in college, so there is some serious to that.
Yeah, and
Hey,
you may not
it's-
catch him.
It's got me through 54 years of life.
And then there's another thing, Sharon. I mean, now that I've gone through this journey to get to where I am now, and I'm not even nowhere near where you are, but I'm far away from where I was, right?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
It ain't too many people that are our age that are even close to being in this. It's just not.
Especially us, and I mean 50 plus black men. That's who that's my new target. My focus ever since. I mean, we crossed. I'm 54, so what? 4 of my friends all turned 50 almost within a year and a half of each
Year and a
other.
Mhm.
4 years later, 3 of them are dead because of bad health choices.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? And I mean the evidence says what the evidence says. And
Well,
again,
with
one
that
of those
being
biggest
said,
things.
you also had 2 of your friends, one brother, one friend, 3 friends who we all took a picture together. We all went on this weight loss journey, independent of each other, and all 3 of us, me, Keith, and Rod, all lost. From that, we need to retake that picture. To be honest,
We need to retake
that picture because I used that
absolutely.
picture as that's the last picture that I have of myself when I was at my biggest. And matter of fact, I wasn't even at my biggest at that point, but that's the last picture that I had.
That's kind of what got me started thinking about it, because I remember we took that picture and I posted it on Facebook. You know how you can do your little background picture, the big one, whatever. I had it up, and my brother-in-law Charles, he was like, "Man, what's up with your boys?" And I'm like, "What you talking about?" He was like, "Look at all of them, man." I'm like, "Everybody," like, he's like, "Man, that's not healthy." And I'm like, "Man, everybody's good, they're healthy." He was like, "When's the last time that you've heard of a healthy fat person?" I was like, "Hey, man, you ain't gonna talk about my boys like that." But then I thought about it. I was like, "Damn, he's right." Like that is a problem. And then I started looking around to other people, like dudes that look like me, same age, same group. And I'm like, why are we so out of shape? I don't understand. And what's the why are you giving up, or just saying I'm just gonna be old?
Well, because I think one of the things happened, especially as men, once you get to a certain point and you hold a certain role, you are the provider, protector, and everything else that is supposed to be internalized, we shut the fuck off. We don't pay any attention to our own personal needs. We just look at we keep pulling, we keep pouring, we can't pour, but you can't pour out if this cup ain't overflowing. You can't give more of yourself than you have of yourself to give, and that's most times that's what we do. We don't take care of ourselves. When that whole thing about black men don't go to the doctor, yeah, well that's whole part of it. That's part of it.
Oh, that's part of it. One, you don't want to know the truth, and 2, we hold on to stress, and we don't.
And we were taught to be this masculine,
right?
not
Right.
worry, don't talk about blah blah blah, that all of that garbage. We were
If you
taught
talk
all
about
of
it, if you talk about it, you're a punk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. But that's what it is. And so it's like that's why I think working out is part of the good thing, because again, mental clarity. And then the second thing, hopefully that gives you the confidence to be able to talk. And so I found myself more going from being so much of the physical, let's work out, the conversations that I'm having now of what is going on with you, especially if I'm going to work with somebody one-on-one. I need to know more than you just want to lose weight, you just want to get in shape. I want to know what your work day is like. I want to know what it's like when you get home from work and you get to the house and you got to deal with the kids and
Yeah.
the wife, and what is your life like? What are you holding on to? Do you talk to people when you have problems? What is going on? That's how I know how to approach you. That's how I know how to coach you. But now it's starting to turn more into a more of a health coach, I guess, or a life coach, because
Mhm.
those are important things to understand to get the best results out of people. And it's a deep conversation. That's
They're
why a lot of times you can't
intertwined.
do this big group thing. You got to actually talk down to people and have a manageable space that you can actually deal with these people with and have real conversations.
They're intertwined. You know,
They are
you
absolutely all related.
that individual, that conversation you having with that person that you training, you know, you may find that, oh wow, you know, did you tell me that you get stressed right before you go to bed every night, and then you go and grab something to eat, you know, and then you go to bed stressed, one, and then two, you just ate something that you ain't had no business eating.
Mhm.
And
Right.
maybe it's because they sit down and they watch the news at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And you just, I'm
brings
just
it right
saying,
around circle.
Oh
listen,
yeah.
you know what I mean? All of that could very well be tied in. I'm not a therapist, but, you know, I did stay at a Holiday Inn,
Listen,
and
you played
one
one
of
of
my
them
best
too.
friends is a therapist. That's what I tell you. One of my best friends is a therapist. So, you know, my brother was a carpenter. So, you know.
I'm gonna start using that. I was like, one of my friends is a therapist. So,
Well, I mean, but it's true, and the holistic thing is true. You know, like everything is connected. Your mind, body, spirit, all of the things play a part in. Because even with that, like you're not going to lose weight, even if you're doing all of this stuff, if your mind ain't right. Like certain things,
yeah.
if they're not together, it's gonna. Because emotionally, if you don't feel safe, your body holds on to fat. So that has
Oh,
nothing to do with,
absolutely.
so you could be doing all the right stuff and eating right, but if you're not feeling safe, your body is still holding on to the fat. So there's,
Every
like,
time. Every time in
so
my life that I've ever gained weight, it was because of what Trish just said. I was stressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and
The
so
the
it's
woman I was
important.
talking about with the t-shirt, she was in
Hmm.
the gym all the time, getting at it, just getting at it. We working on diet, everything else. Um, she just had a lot of crap on her shoulders. She had a lot of stuff on her head. And it
Hmm.
wasn't until she said, I think I'm going to go to therapy. And when she said it out loud, I was like, you 100% need to do that.
Hmm.
Absolutely, you need to do that.
I think
And
it's a
three,
yeah.
3 weeks later, she started losing the weight.
It's just to get the stuff out, and people don't realize because we've had this negative connotation of something got to be wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they have this T-shirt, and it's something similar to this, that I'm in therapy for all of the people around me who don't go, because it's really.
Can I have one of them? Can I have one of them? I
Where
mean,
can I get that? Where can I order that?
real talk. It will be
I'm
on
serious.
the next 6 to 12 hours. I will be wearing that. Okay.
I'm serious.
So
Oh,
is that, usually the people who go are the people who've been trying to fix things, who've been wanting the family to change, who, are the ones that carry a lot of emotional weight or baggage because of all the dynamics either in their family, of origin, or current family, or work, or what have you, but they're kind of those people. And so it's nothing wrong with having a safe space. I remember doing a mental health talk for a company, with someone else, and one of the questions was, when do you reach out for a therapist? I'm like, as soon as you got the thought, because you don't want to wait until everything blows up in your face to reach out when you could actually be talking through something and be, kind of in a good space, emotionally,
Hmm.
because what really happens is you get to be your best therapist is you, because you end up coming to a lot of realizations once you allow yourself to be in a safe space to get the stuff out.
Yeah,
So
I had a friend that does that every now and then. It just like throw some stuff out. And I'm like, what the
hmm
hell? What'd you ask me that for? I'm like, that's a
hmm
difficult ass question. I don't got an answer for you. And then maybe a week or two and a half later, I'm like,
well,
oh, that's what that fool meant. And I've been thinking
yeah,
about it the whole time. And
yeah,
because I couldn't answer it at that time, I figured this shit out. I answered my own
yeah,
question,
yeah,
later on down the road. I'm like, that motherfucker just gave me clarity. I hate you and love you all at the same time. That's had me thinking
yeah.
about this for 2 weeks straight. Hate you.
Yeah, so everything is connected, and I think kind of the turn of how this has gone with the conversation, which is you know all of the things that's going on that can create stress, but now moving into the space that brings you some relief from all of the everyday and this just crazy that has been going on. Um, that we hope come to an end soon. But what you gonna do in between time? You know what I'm saying? Like what are you gonna do for you in between time? So you gotta put yourself
Right.
first.
Right.
You know what? Actually, that goes to the one of the topics that you asked about, and some of the best advice was that take care of you, or you ain't gonna be good for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
Not
don't
not in a
have any.
selfish way, but if you don't take care of you, you ain't got nothing. What good are you to the other people in your life? I was like,
Okay, I'm gonna do
interesting.
a smidge critique of the selfish word, because it, from what I read, and I did look it up, it just meant putting yourself
I'm sure
first.
you did.
You ain't gotta say, you know. But I'm just saying, like, it
I'm
doesn't
sorry, my
mean
internal dialogue just comes out now.
it's okay. Mine do too. So I think all of ours do. We just say whatever, especially with each other. It's like okay, so but that's the thing. It's like we've, for some reason, and I don't know who was the culprit to start the thing that being selfish was a bad thing. That you put your mask on first has never been the bad thing. It's always been the thing to do. But we were always made to feel bad whenever we honored ourselves first. What in the
Yeah.
hell? What was that about? Because it's not about, because most people, oh, I don't want to see
Come
himself.
on.
Why? Why not? Because you ain't hurting me, because it's not a intentional thing to hurt me. Now, you may tell me no, and I got to be okay with that.
Mhm.
You know, that's not about that mean I gotta work on something if you told me no and I got an issue. That ain't have nothing to do with you. You're doing the thing that's best for you. So why should you feel bad about that? And why should I then
Right.
make you feel bad because I then want to put myself first over you and want you to do what I want you to do? Because isn't that what that is?
Yes, you want me. You want that person to put
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you over themselves.
Exactly. So what is kind of
Mm.
crazy is that like we don't always start feeling bad about, oh, that I put myself first. I shouldn't be doing that because I don't want to hurt it. Come on now. Come on. We got to be more, responsible and accountable for ourselves at times.
Yeah.
I agree.
For
I
our stuff.
absolutely agree.
You know.
Absolutely.
Chris,
Some things.
I went and found the lady. So
Okay.
like last week, last week,
Last
last
week.
session, I wore a king shirt with the king um, chest piece on it. Also had her little insignia there. This one here, I don't mind the grind when it's mine. Love that. She's got a number of different uh, shirts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and other logos and whatnot. But her name is Andrea Le Artiste or L Artiste. Artiste. There you go. Look at that. Oh, you can't even see it.
We can't
Can't
see
even
it. If
see
you
it.
could put it in the can you type it in?
You can put in a chat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Anyway, give her a shout out just because when I bought the first
I like
T-shirt,
the
I just
hoodie.
really liked the T-shirt. I was like, man, that's nice. I bought it, and
I like the hoodie.
and then it was and I was like, man,
The
it's a
hoodie's dope.
$45 T-shirt. It's just a T-shirt, but honestly, hands down, it's probably one of
The
my favorite
quality.
T-shirts
Yeah.
because of quality. And I don't know this lady. I don't know her from Adam. I only seen her the 2 times when I bought the first shirt and then I bought this one. But then this hoodie, again, the quality. I've washed this thing. It hasn't shrank. It's just nice. So anyway, I'll put her information in the chat, and does sell her stuff on Facebook too.
Okay, awesome.
Word.
Okay, so I think, as far as the thing that stuck out with me the most, as far as what's been said, it goes back to literally the repetition deepens the impression. That's one of the things that I heard that always stuck with me, to remind me that could go either way. The more good can impress upon you good, the more not so great can impress upon you that. But just to be mindful of what you allow to be impressed upon you repetitively, because that's the way that, to me, people tend to brainwash. Before you know it, the lie become the truth, just because you done heard it 150 times and it's impressed upon you. So
what was that again? Repetitive what does it say again?
Repetition deepens the impression.
That's a t-shirt. You need to quote that and print that. That's a t-shirt.
Yes. So, but that was like from I don't know why it stuck with me, but it always has. And it's like, you do have to pay attention, because I've noticed it in myself, where somebody will keep saying stuff because they want their way. And then all of a sudden, or just to get me off balance, especially when I was younger, I was rethinking the truth over just because they said it so much. I'm like, well, did I do that? Like, people have you checking yourself over just that you've heard something so many times. And if you're not paying attention, like, we're kind of sponges to the things that we hear, which is like kind of going back to the beginning. Like, when people are feeling a certain way, we're looking at the stuff that keep us a certain way, and then you're looking at everybody crazy. Then everybody's on edge, and not that the stuff isn't true, but when you repeatedly hear it, it's gonna keep you in a certain space if you don't have the therapy or the gym or someone to talk to, or some other things to allow these things to go. You start believing the things that you see. And I think sometimes that's what people bank on, is that you lose yourself in what you hear. Like, we were even talking about, Dre, I think you mentioned we got to figure out what's facts. I think both of y'all mentioned that. Like, we don't know. What's the fact?
Don't know.
What's the facts? So we have to dig, because, as they had these pictures of, shoot, I can't even begin to say some of the crazy pictures that they'll have up of people who aren't there with the AI, and they got a whole story around.
Right.
That AI is it's out of control, man. This is one of the worst things and best things that ever happened to the world.
Oh my goodness. I guess they learned to tweak it, but so we do have to pay attention, and sometimes we may jump the gun on information because we think that it's the truth, and we don't take the time to even put it through our own mental process to see how we feel with stuff. So yeah, so what's yours, Dre? Your thing, your quote or
takeaway. Your takeaway.
So I won't say I'm stuck on yours. It's just that we live that all the time, repetition, becoming, I'm killing your quote right now, but that's what they do in advertisement. That's how we end up gluttonous consumers, the things we get bombarded with on through our social media feeds, that repetition, regardless as to what it is, good, bad, or indifferent, it's intentional. Now it's very, very, very intentional. It's counterproductive for me to say, on a platform where I want people to turn on their social media and watch to tell them to turn their social media off.
But just look at us now.
But
Turn off everybody else stuff. Just listen to this one.
Yeah, just listen to us. You know what I mean?
What are they saying anyway? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You know, I was having this conversation the other day. It's just, you know, my anxiety personally has risen with just some of the things that I see regularly, and I'm feeding myself. Although I feel like I am ready to go out in the woods with my hunting knife and nothing else and be able to survive. I don't think that I want that as my reality, you know.
Right.
But if my social media feed has anything to do with it, it has anything to say about it, well, I'm gonna be ready whether it's my reality or not. So just turning that off, being intentional, of staying away, you know, or being just as intentional as what I put in my mouth as I put in my mind.
Hey, there you go.
That's a good
I'm starting a t-shirt. I'm starting a t-shirt company.
Listen, the guy
got too many good quotes going on right now.
I couldn't snap good. My staff sound like pitiful. They sound like this anyway.
Do I have to do it? Do I have to do it like the poet guy? Ladies and gentlemen, Xavier Black. Soul clap, ladies. Soul clap.
Look, that's it. I'm back. Oh, goodness.
Hell no.
Well,
We got
I
all these
think
good quotes.
I know that we have gone just about an hour, if I'm not mistaken.
Look at us being on time.
I know, right? So
Right.
we'll
We're
see
adulting.
everyone next month. Yes.
Yes, next
Yes.
month. And if you have an idea of a topic or a subject that you would like to see us cover, drop that in the comments. We will see that and add that into the mix of things for us to discuss. And just as always, we may start out that way, but our conversations happen organically. Who knows
Amen.
where it's gonna go? It's like
Yeah.
water. It's like water. We're gonna find the crack and keep moving.
Just keep it on moving.
Yep.
Sliding through
Awesome.
with knowledge and
Well,
wisdom. Anything you got? Anybody wanted to check out, Miss Penny? Shows, interviews you got coming up?
Tomorrow, I'm actually doing another collaborative conversation with Tiffany Lassiter. I think I have one more before the end of the year with Ali Steele. It'll be my person in December. So,
Nice. And where can
yeah.
they find
So,
that?
and then
Where can they
be
watch
back
that at?
on YouTube, my Latricia Penny Root of the Matter station. And now that we've learned a few things, maybe it may be on something else too. I don't know.
We are being tech savvy. We are being tech savvy.
Yes,
So
we're getting better.
everybody, so check us out. We're finally getting this YouTube thing down. So do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, share,
Yes.
post, all that. And again, we really, really encourage your feedback. Everything related to the show is 6 to 12 Eyes or 6 to 12 Eyes podcast. And you can find everything and everybody's little branches out from there. But go to
Right.
YouTube and click and like.
Okay, sir.
That's how
So
I-
since you're
that's how it
talking, we're gonna go ahead and add your once again it's on Mr. Harris fitness. What we doing?
Oh. So
Yeah.
yeah, things have changed. So branding has changed a lot. I am no longer with the studio that I'm with. We decided to part ways and do some other things, and this gives me an opportunity to really get into the community that I want to get into and do things for myself and kind of follow my own vision. So that being said, anything fitness related is all Coach Sherman from up and down the line. Facebook, CoachSherman.com, Coach Sherman on YouTube, Coach Sherman on Instagram, Coach Sherman on Facebook. Everything is there. The website is coming soon, and pretty soon I'll be able to take you online. We're going to specialize in one-on-one training as well, and some small group training as well too. So keep an
Awesome.
eye out over the next week. A lot of stuff's going to be coming, so it's everything related Coach Sherman. Follow me.
And you
Yeah.
know, technically, I'm your first online client, right?
This is actually true. That is a fact.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Make me want to pull the sweatshirt off and show it a little something.
I don't think we have a nudity clause in the thing.
I have on a t-shirt. It's a tight t-shirt, you know. Show me anything.
So you have all these women coming on here looking for Xavier Black. Oh, hey. The creeper of the night days are done, Dre. You can't do that no more.
Ooh, wow.
And on that note, y'all, that's Latricia Penny. That is Xavier Black. I am Sherman, aka Mr. Harris. We are 6 to 12 Eyes Podcast, and we will see you all next time. Peace.
All right. Have a good one. Peace.